Tasting like a boss. How are you guys doing? This is going to be the last three-way coffee review of 2024. Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be the last video of 2024 because I have a couple of ideas that I may do, but don't hold me to it. So again, right from the beginning, thank you for your support this year. Our subscriber numbers have gone up. Not a huge channel or anything, but at the same time, the fact we have as many as we do for simply a coffee tasting review channel that has some hot sauces and other things thrown in, I think is kind of fun. And so I thank you for being part of that community. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit subscribe, like, share, and just thank you for the support. I'm wearing a Zelda shirt today to embrace my inner and outer dork. This was a gift from youngest daughter of boss, and I like it a lot. It's really cool. So thank you, youngest daughter of boss. And what I'm reviewing today is a gift too. It's from Jake. You'll see Jake every once in a while in some of these videos. And Jake got me Blue Bottle Coffee Bold. There you go. So I looked them up. This is a California roasting company. They pride themselves on only having the best beans. But you know, a lot of coffee places say that. But if you look deeper into it, they actually have a quality score, selection. It's a neat website to go to check out. And if I like this, you know, that's maybe where I get the stuff, because I don't know exactly where Jake got this. I can tell you that if I was at the grocery store, I'm sure you probably feel the same way, and you're walking by, I'm not even sure if that would register in my mind as being coffee, even if it was in the coffee section. It kind of looks like a dehydrated wine, right? So, but it's cool. And all of their coffees have essentially the same design from what I can tell. So this one here, again, is bold. Tasting notes are dark chocolate, hazelnut, and marshmallow. Again, not a flavored coffee, right? It's just a coffee that has hints of flavors to it naturally. On the back, it says, for those who enjoy a rich cup, which I do, we created this forthright organic blend, roasted darker for comfort and depth. And they, on their website, point out they always try to get organic beans, but sometimes they can't always. And as a result, if they can't, there's an explanation as to why they can't, and you know, that's good. I mean, I don't necessarily have to have organic beans, but it's nice to know that that's what they're doing. And the website is bluebottlecoffee.com. I'd go check it out. It's actually a pretty cool little website. Very well done. So let's move on to the tasting, okay? So we've done a three-way review, of course. So we've got it in the cold brew, cold brewed for over 24 hours. We have it in the drip here. And I got this mug in, yeah, I know what it is. It's the Nora Roberts gift shop in Boonesboro, Maryland, which we got to go to this year. So that's really cool memories. That's where we got that from. And we have here in espresso format, just your standard generic espresso cup that comes in the mail with samples of Tide. Okay, so let's go to the smelling right away. These are whole bean. So let's, well, we check out the beans too, all right. Why not, right? Okay, like a medium oil look to them, a little waxy, not overly, but at the same time not, you know, chalky. So that's nice. Good sized beans. Just a rich coffee flavor, no screwing around. Ever so slight nutty scent to it, but for the most part just rich coffee. So okay, so far so good, Jake. Let's see how it goes. Let's start with a cold brew like we always do. Here we go. No scent off the cold brew. Again, not uncommon. Tasting like a boss. That's really nice, dude. Wow. Okay. I'm trying to think. I'm more blown away by the evenness of this coffee than the flavor profile. So I probably will have to taste it again to actually experience the flavor profile. It is fairly common for me when I have cold brews that when they are ones that are attempting to be bold, that are non-flavored, you know, just natural bold, that they'll be overly earthy, or bitter. Very rarely are you going to get sour off of a dark roast, right? That's really more with problems with your lighter roast, your medium roast, breakfast blends, things of that nature. So I don't go into this ever expecting sour. If I ever have a dark that's sour, it would blow my mind and I'd probably be really grossed out. But it's very common for them to get a too earthy or too bitter. Here you don't have that at all. The evenness, I mean, I can just keep drinking this thing. I got the entire pot. I'm going to be finishing this up quickly. Is impressive. Now, it says it has marshmallow notes. I'm not getting that at all. It says that it's got, chocolate notes? I mean, clearly it does. Hazelnut notes, though. Ever so slight, but don't get it wanting to have hazelnut notes, because that's not really what it is. In fact, if it tasted more hazelnut than it does now, it would do the coffee a disservice. This is a really good cold brew coffee, dark, that doesn't taste overly dark, overly bitter, which I don't mind when it's overly dark. I like dark, but this, the smoothness is right up there with some of the best dark roast coffees I've had. And I'll just tell you straight up, this now occupies a space with Chapin coffees, which, oh God, I mean, Chapin coffees are incredible. It's up there with that Costa Rican coffee, although the Costa Rican coffee I think is my nuclear option of like going as dark as I can on my coffee. I love that. And it's right up there with, let me see, Chapin, there's that one, and there's one I'm forgetting I'm going to hopefully remember by the end of the review. But the fact that I've said that it's up there with, King Harv's. There you go, King Harv's, which is local. King Harv's, the one we had was that specialized one. Was it called Malaysia, I believe? It's right up there. And that Malaysian one, if I'm not mistaken, is almost like $70 a bag. I mean, that one's very expensive with very large coffee beans, but it's something to be experienced. But so far for the cold brew, this really occupies that space. This is a very quality coffee as far as I'm concerned for cold brew. So that's a lot to say, but that's how I actually feel about it. And so, Jake, thank you. I'm gonna have to put a little bit to the side because I think we see him later today, so he can experience that. All right, let's move off the cold brew, okay? That's the way I like it most, but we always do it in drip, and we do an espresso too. So we've got it here in the drip. Okay, well, the scent is here. Interestingly, I smell chocolate and I smell marshmallow. I smell something here that wasn't there in the taste, and it wasn't in the bag either. So tasting like a boss. That's a good cup of coffee. It is, I mean, it's more than a good cup of coffee. It's an exceptional cup of coffee. However, I will say that in the drip, this is where it really depends on what you like, right? For me, when I have a drip coffee, I've come to realize that I really like my coffee and drip that punches me in the face with dark roast. Like really the darker the better is. The Chapin coffees, boom, can hit you with the dark roast. That Costa Rican coffee, which is really, really amazing. I don't even use the King Harv for that because it's so specialized. I like to have it in the cold brew. But this one here, let's say if Chapin was an A and that Costa Rican coffee is an A, this is a solid B plus, okay? Why do I say that? Well, because when I go to have this particular flavor, there is a very subtle aspect of brightness in the beginning, and I don't like that. I don't like brightness in my drip coffee. I'm not a breakfast blend person, but what redeems it is it's just there in the beginning and it falls away. It doesn't stay sour, it doesn't become sour, and it doesn't become overly earthy. So it's very, very nitpicky. For most of you out here, you'll probably like this more than the stuff I like in drip. So I would say if you're a drip coffee drinker, it's really good. I mean, it's still big thumbs up. It's just I'm comparing you. It impressed me so much in the cold brew that I'm holding it to a higher standard. Okay, let's put it that way. So, it's going to be better in drip form than all the flavored coffees that are out there. I'm sorry to the flavored coffees, but that's true. All right, let's move over to the espresso. Have it here. Less scent on the espresso. Don't know why that is. All right, tasting like a boss. Wow. That's really good. It's not going to have the bitterness of espresso. This is a perfect, this is a perfect espresso for people who don't like espresso. Okay, if you're someone who has espresso and you think, oh, it's just a little too bitter, I get it for those people who have that. It's an acquired taste, right? Again, this isn't espresso bean, right? So it's not espresso in that nature. But time and time again, we will try these coffees, these flavored coffees in espresso, and sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't, or sometimes it's just enough of a subtleness to be like the thing they're flavored like, right? This one is just as smooth as the cold brew. I mean, you're gonna have little bright notes, obviously, but just about as smooth as the cold brew. So that's pretty damn good. So if you're getting it, and you might as well just make a single serving of espresso to enjoy it. So that's a big thumbs up. So in the cold brew, I think obviously that's gonna be my preferred method. I'm very impressed by the espresso. I'm not gonna be making a bunch of espresso that way, right? I'll usually just make espresso for myself. And then finally, in the drip, that's a solid cup of coffee on the drip too. So, for my first foray into blue bottle coffee from Oakland, California, that's a big thumbs up. You pulled the trifecta, guys. Woo! Good for you. Good for you. All right. Well, again, thanks for going on this taste journey with me. Hit like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, people, keep tasting like a boss and have a great new year ahead. Thanks so much.